is a presentation of Real Wise Productions and Komen Media Incorporated. Depression, slurs, and emasculation? Next on Mentality. Welcome to another installment and rendition of Mentality, the place where iron sharpens iron in the world of health, mental health, wealth, brotherhood, love, and entrepreneurship from a male perspective. I am one of the co-hosts of this program, Cole Johnson, and I'm joined as always by the other co-host of this show, one Mr. Wize El Jefe. How you doing, man?
I am doing great, brother. Can't complain, man. Ready and excited for this episode.
Oh man, that's what I'd love to hear. All right. We often hear the words friend zone, and I know it strikes a bunch of, I guess, reticence, fear, and possibly regurgitation amongst those of the male persuasion. However, there is benefits actually to being friends with someone that you do want to have in your romantic life before you start dating them. Now, I mean, there's many benefits from easier communication to increased authenticity. Being friends with someone before you start dating actually could come with benefits. But being friends and before dating, it offers an opportunity to truly get to know somebody in a low pressure way and allow a potential connection to naturally blossom and to do so without expectations. No, I will ask this question to my brother. Why do we not try to become friends with the women we court?
Because dudes just want to smash. That's most logic way, man. Dudes just want to smash. Friends, guys, for some reason, they just want to smash. They don't want friendships. They don't. Not all guys, but a lot of men. They don't really. That's not who they are. They just want to get the box and get out eventually. But sometimes, I think it's better if you start off as friends and you grow, and especially if you want to build a relationship.
Yeah.
Then I feel it's best that you do start off as friends, because then you get to really know each other and see what kind of person they each other are. But for the most part, guys just want to smash.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I could totally see that. And I don't know, when I was younger, it bothered me a lot, because I'm thinking, I don't know if women just want to be considered just a physical garment that seemingly, we as men like to treat women a lot of the time, And like you said correctly, not all men. I wasn't like that. Um, and I don't think you were either. Not saying that we didn't have our whole moments, but and I'm just speaking for me.
No, we both had our whole moments.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not to say we didn't have our whole moments.
I'm sure we
But
did. Yes.
yeah, but uh when you get to the more mature masculine side of yourself, I think you start to learn, yeah, there's value in connecting with a woman and wanting to have a long-term connection with her. Especially if you want to have a wife. It's much better. It's much better for you, and it's definitely much better for the relationship as a whole if you just don't. And you correctly answered the question. If you don't just want to go out and try to smash, if you just focus on more than just the circumference of the vagina, and you actually want to value the woman from head to toe, that's the route you got to go. Sorry, I mean,
it is. This is man. Okay, so because for men, sex isn't an emotional thing,
right?
It's just a physical thing. Whereas for I guess for women, it's more of an emotional thing for them.
Yeah.
For us, it's just we don't. That's why it's easier for men to cheat.
Now, there is a Pentagon study which finds a high rate of cancer among military pilots, and this happened for the first time. And it is shown that ground crews who fuel, maintain, and launch aircrafts are getting sick. Now, the data has long been sought by the retired military aviators who have raised alarms for years about the number of air and ground crew members they knew who had cancer. They were told that earlier military studies had found that they were not at a greater risk than the general U.S. population. Now, this makes me want to ask the question. I'll just straight up out and loud. Now, with that study, with that understanding of these wonderful men in service actually becoming sick and contracting something in their duty, how long should the government take care of these aviators?
Rest of their lives. Rest of their lives. You got these politicians. It's funny, right? That you get these politicians that once they get into office, a federal like congressmen, representatives, and all these people, they get, even if they just serve one term, they get health care for life. That's some bull.
That's right.
That is bull. I don't know any job that you leave that you continue to get health benefits. So why is it that these congressmen, these House of Representatives, why do once they're out of office they continue to get health care for life? They're no longer serving the public. So why is the public flipping the bill for their benefits? Yeah. But yet soldiers who've gone to war, who have dedicated their lives to this country, once they out, they get treated like trash.
Yeah.
And you're a man who served in the military. You know this to be true. The VA hospitals here suck. It's like soldiers become second-class citizens when they come home.
Yeah.
But yet, these pencil pushers in Congress and in the House, if they get out of office, they still have benefits. I've never been anywhere where you leave a job and you get lifetime benefits.
To your point, presidents, and you could have served one term, you could serve less than one term. If you serve one day as president, you get Secret Service detail the rest of your life. That's as if you served as president. But yes, you're also correct. If you served one term as an elected official, you get help. You get health benefits on the government's dime the rest of their lives.
There's a clown in New York, George Santos. The reason he doesn't want to give up his office, and he's being investigated for numerous things, for being a liar, first of all.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
But the reason he's doing is because he wants health care for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I need to flip the bill for this clown or any of these clowns that just serve one term.
Bad Bunny. No. I know we're near the Easter holiday, but I'm not talking about Easter. I'm not talking about a Bad Bunny. No, I'm talking about the recording artist Bad Bunny. Well, his ex-girlfriend is suing him for at least $40 million for over a well-known voice recording she provided the singer before he became famous. Now, Carlos de la Cruz Hernandez, whose breathy Bad Bunny Baby recording was included in two of the artist's songs, claimed in a lawsuit filed early in March in Puerto Rico that her voice and the phrase she came up with are being used without a permission. Now, the lawsuit, which was first reported by Noticiel, notes that the phrase was used in Pati, a song that has more than 355 million views on YouTube and more than 250 million reproductions on Spotify. It also was used in Dos Mil 16, which has more than 60 million views on YouTube and 280 million in reproductions on Spotify. Now, my question to you, sir. You are an honorable man. What is the honorable way to go about this?
Cut her a check. If it's her voice, cut her a check. I'm saying, cut her a check and settle, or give a point, or give her a point on the album. Something, give her something.
Mm-hmm.
It's only right. She provided the voice. She provided her voice and provided the phrase. Give it to her.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
But prior to that, but before that, before he became the #1 selling artist in the world, she wasn't thinking about that. But now that he's #1,
oh yeah,
and I guess now because they probably broke up, she being petty.
Yeah,
but I would give her the money. I would give her a point or something.
We're just getting started. Mentality will return. Alicia.
You can't hold somebody to that standard if you haven't voiced what you want and what you're needing from that.
Mika.
If you're not communicating expectations, you're waiting for your feelings to be hurt.
Nicole.
Yeah. A lot of people don't want to take the time out to be alone and to get themselves together.
Ivan.
You got to be willing to work through stuff. And from the jump street, y'all done had problems. Maybe you don't need to be working through those.
BS3 Network proudly presents Queen 3 and King podcast. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central. What's on E. Digger's mind?
A and B, I'm going to see my way out of it. Because why? I don't care. I have a message for people who do nothing but complain about black people. We can't change who we are. You called the cops on me? I think that every time you call the cop on someone on a false accusation, your need to be a little bit punished.
BS3 Network proudly presents a man with a lot to say and is unabashed to say it. What's on E. Digger's mind? Sundays at 7:30 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure. Welcome back to Mentality, the show that is created for all men, with Wize and Cole Johnson. And now we turn our attention to Ed Sheeran. Now, you We talked about one international recording artist. Now we're about to talk about another. And before his project that's due to be coming out, he talks about an issue that many guys really don't. And what is that issue? Well, welcome to Celebrity Style. Now, Ed Sheeran is due to release an album called Subtract, and it is overflowing with feelings. He was interviewed by Rolling Stone, in the April cover story. The British hitmaker talks about the incidents which contributed to his heightened emotional state back in 2022, which unfortunately was the sudden death of his best friend and his wife's tumor diagnosis, amongst many of the other traumas that gave him depression. And at 32, that is what is troubling him now. Now, he admits to plunging into said state following the loss of his closest friend in February of last year. Jamal Edwards, a musical entrepreneur who died of cardiac arrhythmia, instigated by cocaine use. Now, coupled with the discovery of his then pregnant wife having developing a tumor that couldn't be removed until giving birth, thankfully, she underwent successful surgery after delivering their second daughter. And the death of another friend, well, Sheeran felt that his world was spiraling. And I can understand how that would be, because that would be just too many blows to deal with to just basically take a stiff upper lip and say that I'm fine. All right. Why do we not feel sympathy, though, for those who are famous and have these types of traumas?
Because we think that they feel they should be happy because they are successful and they are celebrities. But at the end of the day, they're human beings. They're just like you and me. They have emotions. They have their ups and downs. And so just because you're a celebrity and you make money doesn't mean that you're immune to life. Life happens. Things happen. It just, people need to stop. Just because you have money or because you're a celebrity doesn't make you less of a human being. You still go through tragedies, you still go through traumas, you still go through loss, you still go through all these things, and so you have these issues. You go into depression, you go into the state of, why me? Why is this happening to me? Am I such a horrible person that I lose one friend? Now my wife has cancer. He's human. He's human. He's gonna have these emotions. He's gonna have these things go through his head.
And yeah, he should have those things go through his head. I mean, yeah, like you said, he's human just like we are. And if we were to have these same dilemmas and traumas, I think we would react the same way. I mean, we would have the why me and why is this happening to me moments. I mean, we both have had traumas of different sorts that put us in depressive states. And I'm sure that question lingered loud and proud in your brain as it did in mine.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, but the insensitivity I think we have towards celebrities when they show that they're going through life, I find it appalling sometimes.
Because we go with the mentality, oh, what they have to be, like, what do they have to be depressed about? They're rich, they're successful, they have, like, so what?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you have no feelings. That doesn't mean that you can't suffer like everyone else.
Right. What did your Brooklyn brethren say? The more money you have, the more problems you have.
More money, more problems. More money, more problems.
And for those who don't know what I'm talking about the late great Notorious B.I.G. But yeah, and he was right. And if you remember back then, which, God, I can't believe that was 26 years ago. You had some, especially some of the hood, they were laughing at that. It's like, what the heck you talking about? You got money. You shouldn't have any problems. What are you talking about?
No,
but
it's true.
Yeah, it is true, and they are human beings, and they go through trauma just like we do. So now his friend died actually from, well, conditions of taking cocaine. Uh, and Ed himself talks about how abusing substances himself. So why do you think taking substances is an answer for many to deal with pain?
To numb it.
Yeah.
It doesn't, it necessarily doesn't, it's not the answer, but at that point you don't care. You just want to numb it.
Mhm.
When I went through what I went through, alcohol was the drug of my choice.
Yeah.
And I went, after I lost my wife, spent a year just being a drunk, just getting drunk every day.
Mhm.
Because I didn't want to feel the pain anymore.
Yeah.
So some people drink, some people do coke, some people do other things. But it's basically to numb the pain. It's to try to escape from it.
You probably heard this, and I know I heard it. I heard it a lot of times when I was going through the healing of my divorce. So, what makes others say snap out of it whenever someone suffers from depression?
Ignorance. It's ignorance because you don't know. It's like that saying, you haven't walked a mile in their shoes.
Right.
For you to say to snap out of it. You don't know what they're feeling. You don't know what they've been through.
Yeah.
So and sometimes you got to catch yourself. You got to catch yourself when you start saying that to people, like, oh, you can snap out of it, get over it.
Right.
Like, oh, you don't know what that person's been through.
Right.
So for you to come out of your face saying, oh, snap out of it, it's ignorant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you mentioned another phrase that is common. Get over it. It'll pass. Oh, don't worry about it. And I know you probably have heard one of those phrases either from many different people, or you probably heard all those phrases from one person. And dealing with what you're dealing with, and at the time, that's the last thing you want to hear. It's like, the heck you mean snap out of it? What the heck you mean get over it? What the heck you mean this? Forget that, man. I'm hurting now.
Yeah.
Man, I need something that can take away the pain I got now. And those words ain't doing it. Sorry, they're just not. But I think one thing that I find interesting about when celebrities go through this, and I've heard this said about Mary J. Blige, and I've heard this said about Pink, and I've heard many of their fans say the following that I'm about to utter. Their art is better when their life is worse. They have to suffer for the art, for their art to be elite and top shelf and top level. You know, when their life is happy, their music sucks. But when their life is in the toilet, man, they come up with some heaters. So I think I know the answer to this question, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. Do you like for artists to suffer in order to create excellent art?
No. I don't want anybody to suffer.
Thank you.
That makes no sense.
Right.
But some feel that that's when they write their best music, is when they're hurting. Some artists write their best music when they're happy.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on the person. But no, I don't want anyone to suffer. I don't want anyone to go through anything that's going to hurt them, even though that's what life is about. Life is about going through tragedies, but it's how you respond to these tragedies and to these, and some people, when they're hurt and they're hurting, they kind of write some wonderful music. But I wouldn't want anyone to suffer.
No, and I don't either. No. My thought is when I hear music that they're documenting in their pain, my thought is, man, I hope that this is the springboard to something better, And your art is probably going to be better when you're happier, you know, because I get to hear a different side of you and I get to hear a happier version of you. It sort of propels me and gives me hope that I'm going to hear something positive, and it's going to make me actually feel happier for this person because they were vulnerable enough to show you their pain. I wanted to be vulnerable enough to show me their triumph. Mentality will be back in 2 and 2. If you're looking for a sports program that gives you the flavor. Washington Commanders? Really?
This whole thing stinks to high heaven.
That pulls no punches. Thuggish act by a thuggish actor. That gives you some humor. Praise everything LeBron does and never criticize it. If you want a show that gives you good times, then this is that show. BS3 Network proudly presents. I am Cole Johnson, and welcome to Cole Sports with a Z. Every Friday on Patreon, and every Saturday on YouTube, Spreaker, and all other outlets. This is a BS3 Network presentation.
I want to do a TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, Wize.
Are you in a life holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast. Live every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central. Welcome back to Mentality, the show that is for men, about men, and directed toward men. With Wize and Jefe, I am Cole Johnson. And I want to touch on one of the biggest reasons why we are men. And we're going to talk about Mina Kimes. Now, many might not know who she is. She is a sports personality. She's an analyst on ESPN. And unfortunately, she has become a central figure, not because of something she did, but because of some ignorance from some men. So there's a Boston talk radio show, the sports radio talk show, that decided to express themselves, and they went a little too far. How far? We're going to talk about that. As for Mina, we're going to stand in the gap. During a segment on WEEI's The Greg Hill Show this past week, co-hosts Greg Hill, Jermaine Wiggins, and Courtney Cox were discussing their top 5 nips as the Boston City Council prepares to discuss a possible ban on nips, or small liquor bottles, because they are too small to be recycled and often is a good thing for others to litter. Now, the executive producer and on-air personality, Chris Curtis, in the midst of the top 5 nips, interjected and said, quote, "I'd probably go Mina Kimes," close quote. Now, he said that with a smile, and the other co-host mentioned and went on. Now, why would this be an issue? Well, the term nip is an ethnic slur against Japanese people, Japanese descent, or Japanese origin. Here is the problem with the stupidity. One, you shouldn't even call a person on their name. And two, Mina, who was born in Omaha and reared in Seattle, is of Korean descent. So you throw an ethnic slur at somebody and you get it all wrong. And what makes it even funnier, Odyssey, the parent company of WEEI, they went to tell Boston Globe that Mr. Curtis was trying to actually reference actress Mila Kunis instead of Mina Kimes in this racial slur faux pas or flub. So I throw this question at you, sir. Why do we not ardently defend those like Mina who receive such attacks?
Because then we got idiots like Jason Whitlock, who also decided he wanted to interject himself in this thing, where he felt that she was playing victim and all this other. Well, I read her tweet, and she wasn't playing a victim. He just wanted to interject himself in this situation that has nothing to do with him. This dude went from talking about sports to talking about life and politics. Stick to sports, buddy. Stick to sports, because you're making us look bad. You're making people of color look bad when you interject yourself in none of your business. And then you want to come and say that she was playing a victim role. If you really looked at the tweet, she didn't play any victim role. She didn't even know what was going on. I read the article. I read what was going on. And like you said, he said he meant to say Mila Kunis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It came out the wrong way. He said the analyst from ESPN. And she came back hard at Jason Whitlock too. I love what she said. I didn't really read. I forgot what she said. But she came back at him like, dude, she's like, yo, I'm not playing no victim. I'm laughing this off and reporting sports, something you used to do.
It's funny you say that, because when she caught wind that is how Odyssey defended the comments, I think for a couple of days on her own social media handles, she changed her pictures from herself to Mila Kunis.
He just wanted to interject himself in it. He wanted to make himself.
Yes.
Hey, I'm talking about, like, dude, man, go ahead, man.
No, you're not.
Go find something else to do, because you're no longer a sports journalist, man. You've succumbed to clickbait, you bum.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
I'm being nice.
I know you are. I know you are.
Nice. I usually be dropping some bombs, but I'm being nice. So Jason Whitlock, I'm not gonna be nice this time. Go yourself.
Yes. I do, because I felt that passion too. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. This just drums up idiots, I tell you.
Believe me, I want to go off. I
know
a
you
lot
do.
Of fat want to come out and
but yeah, and seeing how Jason Whitlock came at Mina, this actually brings my next question in full light. You would think that this is a colleague and he would want to protect the colleague. I know they don't work at the same network anymore, but still, as a colleague, you'd want to protect her. But where is the protection from those like Whitlock to Mina who express such incendiary views?
He just want to be relevant. He wants to be relevant. Why you think he chimed in? They nobody asked him for his opinion.
No, it sure didn't.
Don't nobody care if he didn't know what NIP was. Don't nobody care. He knew. He just wanted to interject himself because he wants to make himself relevant. He is a bum.
Yeah.
He ain't got going on for him.
Nope.
He's not at Fox anymore. I don't think he is.
I don't think he is either.
He's not. Where is he? What is he doing?
I think he's
trying to make himself relevant. He is a bum. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Oh man, that's embarrassing. It's just seeing stuff like that is absolutely atrocious and embarrassing. Because
like I said, I give her the most props though for the way she came back at him.
Mina, I've always had the utmost respect for her. I mean, she's knowledgeable. We can go on about how knowledgeable she is about what she covers, which is football. But just in the way she is as a human, I have the utmost respect for her, and I did before this happened. Now it's through the roof. It's through the roof because I'm like, you showing intellectual toughness, girl. I love that. Yes. Whatever you need from me to protect you from having more of these idiots come at you, please let me know. Although you're doing a really good job making them look like idiots, the idiots that they are. But it just makes me want to ask this too. So why did Odyssey outwardly defend Curtis, and why is Jason Whitlock basically wanting to throw his hat in the ring and say, well, there's nothing to see here, and saying that basically this is nothing, and then Odyssey wanted to basically outwardly lie in saying that, oh no, our co-host of this show was actually referring to Hollywood actress Mila Kunis.
No, he wasn't. No,
and not Mina Kimes.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. We all know he wasn't. We all know he wasn't. That's so because she's not even Asian. So why would we even reference her?
No, she's not.
Please, your man messed up, and now y'all want to cover it up like, oh, he didn't mean to say her name. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. That her name was in his mouth. Like
yes. I kid you not, dude.
Odyssey, y'all suck too. Odyssey, I need to go off too. Because
I kid you not, brother.
And I understand when they were referencing nips because that's what we call them. That's what we call those little bottles. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know when they made nips. I know they weren't talking about Asian, but he made it that.
Right.
Saying when they were talking about the bottle and the liquor, that's when it. But the moment he mentioned Mina,
it became a racial slur.
It became a racial slur.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But had they just continued to talk about the liquor, it wouldn't have been an issue.
It wouldn't have been an issue at all. Exactly.
But the moment he brings her into the conversation, now it becomes an issue. Now you're talking about someone of Asian descent, and dude, should have just kept talking about the liquor.
Yeah.
And you would have got a 1 week suspension.
What God? And then about to say, and then the slap on the wrist.
But you know what? It's Boston. It's Boston anyway. Boston shit.
Whoa! Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Later we will have Thoughts from the Throne. This is Mentality. There's a 100% chance of a laugh thunderstorm. 4 men with different viewpoints take a movie, show, or documentary and review it uncensored, unfiltered, uncompromised, with no holds barred. Join BS3, Wilkes, King Dog, and H-Rap B as they take on Hollywood their own way. BS3 Network proudly presents The Forecast, where H-Rap B always predicts,
if I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God.
Live every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure. This is a BS3 Network presentation. Politics.
They'll write the law, but they'll enforce it differently. Is that going to apply both ways?
Religion.
God never said that we can't reason together. Matter of fact, he said, let us sit and reason together.
Relationship.
I believe that everybody wants and needs somebody.
From a man's perspective.
They say, girls, if I put some polish on that and get him to buy some different clothes, girl, he could be a winner chicken dinner.
Join the thought engineer.
There's nothing wrong with me developing my piece and you developing your piece, but understand the goal is to come together.
And comedian John Yogi.
Negro, I don't need you putting on no chapstick up there in the pulpit. You do that over there in your chair.
Get ready for Monday. Live every Monday at 7 p.m. Central. Welcome back to Mentality, where it is the ultimate masculine safe space. With Wize El Jefe and grandson Bryson, I am Cole Johnson. And
oh, you hear him already, right? Yeah, he just walked in. Yeah, he just walked in.
Yeah. Jonathan Majors, he is feeling himself. And when he was interviewed on NPR, the question was asked by NPR correspondent Aisha Roscoe about masculinity, and this is what he had to say about it.
It's balanced, isn't it? There's strength, right, and there's vulnerability. There's awareness, and then there's acknowledgement of ignorance. A big part of it is kindness, right? Use of power, gentleness. These are masculine characteristics.
Yes.
It's quite unmasculine to try to emasculate another man.
Absolutely.
I'm not coming for nobody, but kindness is a big part of it. Doesn't matter, how much you weigh or how much you bench press. That's not the point. You know what I mean? It's none of that. It's an energy. It's an energy. You know what I mean? And I hear my brothers. We fight and claw for every inch of positive popularity we get, of positive news we get, and it's not lost on me that in this moment, because of the pictures I've made and because of the way I move through the world, I may be seen as that. And I don't shy away from, this idea of black masculinity. I'm just living my life. I am male. I am black. These things go hand in hand. I mean, foot and shoe, hand and glove, I asked them to, be a bit more enlightened.
Now, I can't believe what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it. So, in the ebony shoot of one Mr. Majors, the backlash that it received was absolutely mountainous. The biggest part of it was being that he was, quote, effeminate, close quote, in having like a pink motif, in being adorned in flowers, in wearing knee-high boots, and wearing a pink, almost a chinchilla type of coat. Now, with what you just saw, sir, and what I just said, do you believe that Mr. Majors was being effeminate in his ebony shoot?
Listen, man, I would not want to run into Jonathan Majors down any dark alley. Have you seen his brother?
I wouldn't. Yeah, I have. No, I wouldn't.
I
know that dude could handle himself.
Like he will handle himself.
That dude could handle himself.
All this nonsense about what he was wearing, whatever, it don't matter. It don't make him less of a man. I guarantee you try to run up on my man, he will handle his business. So then you want to call him a fiend or whatever you want to call him, and then if he whips your ass, what does that make you? Huh?
A man that got whooped.
You're not even female if he whipped your ass.
A man that got whooped by someone you called effeminate.
You're not a male then. You're not a man then, right?
Yeah,
so,
that means that you must be less of a male yourself. Yes.
Yes. So, man, dudes need to just shut up, man. Listen, man, bro. That's one brother I would not want to.
No.
I think I'd rather be have him have my back in a fight than against me.
I'd rather him have my 6 than to face off square off against him. Yes. Yeah. No question about that. No.
But men who are insecure and who they are gonna say something. Men who are insecure with being men are gonna say something. Like, I have a purple shirt that I wear.
Okay.
Does that make me less of a man? I wish somebody would tell me it made me less of a man.
Heck no.
They're not gonna say it to my face. I guarantee you any of those people who said something won't say it to his face. So what does that make you people? Cowards.
Well,
it make you cowards. Because y'all want to go behind a mic or go behind a magazine and say something.
Be Twitter gangsters.
Yeah. Be thumb gangsters. Whatever. I don't really care, man. Listen. I wish one of y'all would try to test my man's gangster.
Look. As you can see, I'm wearing a purple shirt right now, my doggone self.
I got a pink background.
And I could tell you, I could vouch for you. I'm all man, and I can vouch for Wize. He's all man. So
I had a pink background. I think I'm not hiding that.
This is how ridiculous this all sounds. I'm like, this was done for a Valentine's Day shoot, and when I saw this,
hold on. First of all, isn't ebony for women?
It's catered more toward women than men, but yeah, it's sort of geared more
toward women. Let's be honest, it's more catered for women.
It's geared a little more toward women, yeah.
So why the hell you dudes watching Ebony, reading Ebony anyway?
And they were
geared towards women. Why are you punk dudes reading it anyway?
And there were many dudes, man. There were many cats, dog, many cats that were just saying, man, he's making us brothers look weak.
Nah, y'all making yourselves look weak.
He's making us look weak with that stuff.
Making ourselves look weak, man. Because
I went in the middle of that. I went in the middle of that post, and I typed the following, and this is verbatim. I said, Jonathan Majors and what he did is not for me. So it is geared towards somebody else, and I know who it was geared toward. It was geared toward women, black women in particular. So why would it matter to me that he would do that? I'm like, it's not for me. It's not for me. So I don't have a comment in the race. It's like, do you, Jonathan? Look, if you got word just like Teddy Pendergrass back in the late 70s saying you did this would do you to women, which I'm sure that's what his handlers told him. Do you?
That's not my cup of tea, but hey.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not going to criticize you. I'm not going to knock you.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's not my cup of tea, and it's not geared toward me.
It wasn't for me. Exactly.
It wasn't for me. It wasn't for you.
Why were you guys looking at that anyway, huh?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why y'all up there reading Ebony anyway?
Like,
it's not for you. But y'all want to be up in the center. Y'all want to be up in the centerfold looking at his abs. That's what it is.
Yeah,
that's just hiding that. That's just hiding
jealous. You hit it. Them fools are jealous.
They're looking at his abs like, I don't got that. Yeah, man, get over it, bro.
Them fools are absolutely jealous. Yes. Yes. Look, I'll put
dudes is corny. These dudes out there corny. I ain't got nothing better else to do. Stop reading Ebony magazine anyway. Go pick up a muscle fitness magazine or something and start working out if you're jealous of what my man got. Get over it.
I'll say this, man. You all weren't saying that crap about Prince, and he wore thigh-high boots.
Because Prince was smashing everything. Can't none of them say anything.
It was leaked out that he actually was wearing female type of garbs that he tailored and made it for himself, made it more masculine in look. But you didn't say anything about him emasculating men because you were happy that he was tapping every single woman that was within earshot of him.
Prime example, Bad Bunny. He dresses as a woman. He dresses with. That doesn't make him. Listen, man. When you are comfortable within yourself, you don't care what anybody else thinks. So, kudos to Jonathan Majors for being comfortable with who he is. And a lot of you, that's the problem with a lot of you guys out there. You're not comfortable with yourselves. You are afraid of being yourself.
I think you could agree with me when I say this. That isn't being masculine.
Oh, that's being a.
Thank you. That's not being a man. That's not being masculine. You being concerned about what another joker thinks,
being a.
That is not masculinity in its highest form. In fact, that's probably masculinity in its lowest.
That's some whole.
I wouldn't want to dress in garb that is probably
that's you
from females, but
that's
me.
You.
But that's
you,
me.
Yeah. But I'm not going to judge someone else if they want to. That's their life.
Exactly.
That's the problem with people.
Exactly.
Live your life. Why are you worried about how this man is dressing for this photo shoot? Matter of fact, why are you, like I said, why are you reading it?
Reading the magazine.
You wanted to see Jonathan Major's abs. That's what it was. You wanted to see what he was holding. Some of you dudes just need to get out the closet and just let it go.
Oh my God. And now, thoughts from the throne.
Earlier this week, I sent a video to Poppy, and in the video, they were talking about this lady was talking about men who make $1,000 a week are broke. And I thought to myself, this is crazy, because there's a lot of people who aren't even making that much money a week, and yet this is going to talk about he's broke. I don't understand what's wrong with you women nowadays. It's like all you looking at is what a man earns and what he brings to the table. What you bringing to the table? What are you bringing to the table? Literally, that's a dime a dozen. There's plenty of that out in the streets. And to knock someone who works hard, and listen, $1,000 a week is a lot. A lot of people don't even see that in a month. And to knock a man because he makes $1,000 a week, oh, y'all need to get over yourselves, ladies. This is ridiculous. Because some of y'all not even making $1,000 a week, and your has no value, none whatsoever, because there's so much of it out there. So y'all need to get your priorities straight. No, we're more than working hard, and there's so much more to us. And if you would really sit down and get to know a man, then you would see this. But y'all want to continue to put a value on what we do, or a dollar value. Please stop it. Get over yourselves. Because some of y'all not bringing in 500 a week. So what the y'all talking about? Get over it. And that's all I got to say for this week. And oh yeah, Boston. That's the Yankee fan in me.
I know that's the Yankee fan in you. That's you wearing a Yankee fitted. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Job well done, Wize. I probably could not have said it better myself. All right. Let me give you all a management tool. Now, understand that when you are in a job, you are in the people business. Understand that. Yes, you have a job to do, you have tasks to perform. But ultimately, you are in the people business. And what does that mean? Well, that means you have to look at a person and understand the value that they have. Not the value they can provide you, but the value period that they have. And not just necessarily the job they do, but the value of the human being that they are. My wife told me this little trick. She said, you know, you're going to have to manage up, manage across, and manage down. What does that mean? Well, manage up means obviously you have to make sure that you take care of your bosses. Manage across, that means you have to make sure that you big up those who hold the same titles as you. And manage down, that means if you have a staff like I do, that means you have to make sure that you tend to their needs and not look down on them because they are subordinates to you, because they're not. You prop them up because you're responsible for them and you're there to serve them. Not as a commoner, but as a resource that you have to pour into them. So understand that. And also understand that when you're dealing with people, give them the compliment sandwich. Like if you have a criticism, put in 3 sentences. The first sentence is a compliment, the second sentence is a criticism, and the third sentence is a compliment. Guaranteed they will handle what you have to say better than if you were to just outright critique them. Compliment sandwich, and you're in the people business. Remember that. And those are thoughts from the throne. We thank you so much. Please continue to like, continue to share, continue to subscribe to Wize TV and the Comey Media Incorporated YouTube channels as we perform this show for you. Remember, this show is for men, about men, and directed toward men. And as we always say in parting, our secret technique is that we always speak with mentality. Until next week, see you.
Peace out.
That's 100.